Lee Jae-myung, leader of the Democratic Party of Korea, has taken office as South Korea's 20th president without the aid of a presidential transition committee. The absence of a formal handover has marked an unusual start to his tenure. As his government takes shape, attention is turning to the structure and priorities of the incoming administration. A government launched without a transition committee. Under normal circumstances, a presidential transition committee is given 60 days to prepare for a new administration, overseeing the direction of state affairs, reviewing government structures, and vetting key appointments. However, transition committees are legally established only for presidents elected in regular elections. Since this was an early presidential election, no transition committee could be formed. President Lee Jae-myung plans to form a national policy planning committee to perform the duties typically handled by a transition team, including setting policy priorities and outlining the direction of national governance. A similar approach was taken in 2017 when President Moon Jae-in launched an advisory committee for national policy following the impeachment of Park Geun-hye. Plans for government reorganization. One of President Lee Jae-myung's key promises is to reorganize the government, a move that requires approval from at least 150 lawmakers in the National Assembly. With the ruling Democratic Party holding 180 seats, the measure is likely to pass without major hurdles. South Korea's Ministry of Economy and Finance (MOEF) currently oversees all aspects of fiscal policy, including budget planning and execution, sparking criticism over excessive centralization. In response, President Lee plans to separate the budget planning function and assign it to a new Ministry of Planning and Budget under the Prime Minister. The remaining functions of the MOEF would be restructured into a Ministry of Finance and Economy, focusing on taxation and revenue. President Lee has also proposed a new Ministry of Climate and Energy as part of his agenda to prioritize climate crisis response. This ministry would integrate the energy policy functions of the current Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy with the climate change response functions of the Ministry of Environment. It is expected to comprehensively coordinate long-term initiatives, such as energy transition and carbon neutrality strategies. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family will be restructured into an expanded Ministry of Gender Equality and Family Inclusion. President Lee has argued that the current ministry fails to reflect the evolving needs of society in terms of policy scope and function. The new ministry aims to promote inclusive policies that address issues across gender, generations, and social groups. Government reorganization often signals an administration's priorities. It remains to be seen whether the new government will follow President Lee Jae-myung's vision in practice.